Hello North Central College, this is your weekly update. My name is Michael Griffin. Let's get started. Our first story this weekend, we're taking a step back in time to last week. Last Thursday morning, North Central students, staff, and faculty received a message from Campus Safety about a bomb threat that had been made at St. Peter and Paul Catholic School. This is a private school, just a block off of North Central's main campus. In a statement released by the school, administrators said that students were evacuated to buildings on campus here at North Central, naming Pfeiffer Hall as one of the evacuation locations. Administrators also said that children and staff were all safe, and parents were welcome to come and pick up their children if they desired to. They closed the message by stating that they were thankful that there was no bomb actually found on campus, and everyone involved was unharmed. The source of this threat was deemed an anonymous phone call, and no further information has come from this incident. For our second story, we're going to take a look at the economy. As the nation continues to suffer historic levels of inflation nationwide, the Federal Reserve has once again voted to increase the interest rates by another 0.75%. This is the third rate hike this year, as the Fed has attempted over the last year and a half to slow the rate of inflation across the country. There is some evidence that inflation is starting to slow month to month. However, costs are still on average 8 to 9% higher than they were just a year ago. In continuing to raise interest rates, the Federal Reserve hopes that they can tamp down the demand in the economy and allow for supply chains across the country to catch up. Next up, we're going back over to Europe, as news broke on Tuesday that 4 Ukrainian regions that are in revolt, backed by Russia, plan to hold referendums in the coming days on whether or not to become part of Russia. If these referendums pass, this would allow for Russia to claim that any attacks in those eastern and southeastern regions would be an attack against Russia on their soil rather than an attack within Ukrainian territory. Notably, the Western coalition against Russia, including the United States and the European Union, has come out against this action by the Russian government and the separatists. This all comes in the shadow of Russia losing ground during the Ukrainian counteroffensive last week. We'll be sure to share the results of the referendums as they come in next week. For our last story, we're going to continue the theme of international relations. During a 60-minute interview this week, President Biden reaffirmed U.S. support for Taiwan if they were to be attacked by mainland China. Biden affirmed that U.S. troops would be sent to defend Taiwan, which is a sharp turn from the Biden administration's response to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. This also comes at a time of building tension between the United States and China, as there have been calls to condemn China for their human rights abuses against the Uyghur population in the western portion of the country, overall strict surveillance of their citizens, and their military actions in the South China Sea. As of now, there's no active intelligence made public that has shown evidence of imminent invasion of Taiwan. However, as tensions grow, the question of U.S. intervention has grown more prominent. And that's all for this week. Please come back next week as we recap the largest stories throughout campus and our world at large. Have a great week.